Hello, Francisca. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Okay, somebody's missing. Ignacio. Ignacio's missing. How was your Easter holidays?
Short.
Short? Too short?
Too short.
Yeah, they are always too short. Well, but I hope that this, I don't know, there is a politician, a deputy, a senator, I don't know, trying to convince the others to make May the 2nd, make it holiday. I hope he succeeds.
Yes.
But I think it's difficult. Because the argument is not very strong, I think. May the 1st is on Sunday, but that has happened many times. I mean, it's not the first time. Yes. Well, let's see. Well, as I don't know if you remember, the last class we talked about education. Remember that?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. We have been talking about different aspects of education. Today, I would like to start our class with some listening practice about that, okay? But before starting with this, let's see, you are people that have been studying for a long time. I mean, you have been students for many years. So let's see, how do you usually study? Hello, Ignacio.
Hello, sorry for the delay.
Don't worry. How do you usually study?
I don't understand the question. It's about the time, so I don't know.
You have
how
a
much
test.
hours?
I don't know. You have to study for a test. Yes. What do you do? How do you study? I mean, how do you organize to study for a test?
I took notes in the class and then I read and I read again.
You read the notes you took during the class?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. And you read it many times?
Yes. And I try to explain myself the principal ideas.
Okay. Okay. And that's it?
Yes.
Okay. Any other?
I do the same, but also I try to complete the notes with the material available, with the books or complementary material. So you can explain better the notes that you already have taken in the class.
Okay, but you have some notes made with information given by the teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after that, you look up more information
in the books, the books recommended
by the teacher.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about you boys? How do you study?
I try to study in a quiet place.
Huh?
Always on a desk. Sometimes listen music at low volume.
I'm sorry, and what?
Listening music at low volume.
Okay, low volume, yeah.
Volume.
What type of music do you listen to?
lo-fi.
Sorry?
Lo-fi is modern music
Yeah.
to relax and to apply yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know that type of music. Okay, but it's music made to relax.
Or bossa nova or something
Bossa Nova.
or something
Yeah, good.
no hard music.
Yeah, not heavy metal or something like that. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Good. And what about you, Emilio? How do you study?
I don't know. I try to make diagrams.
Diagrams?
Diagrams. But usually I don't study. Maybe I take a book or read, but I don't have the habit to study.
So how did you get up
to be
here?
honest?
How did you get up to here? Because it's, I mean,
reading.
You did your career, you did a master, now you are doing the PhD. So I can't believe that you did
only I think I only read or take some point in my book, but study to take a scheduling to study. No, often.
What do you mean? I mean, scheduling for studying?
I don't. No me programo. I don't have to.
Please, in English, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to scheduling to study or.
Okay, you don't say tomorrow I want to study from 9 to 3.
No, often.
Okay, but when you make diagrams, how do you, I mean, how do you do it? I mean, do you, yeah, how do you make diagrams?
I'm trying to catch the principal idea, and after that I draw a diagram with the main points.
Yeah, but to do that, you must read your notes, your copybook, your bibliography.
Yeah, but no, for me it's not to. I don't take a moment of the day to study. Usually I don't have that habit to study.
Yeah. Okay. What about the others? I mean, do you have a moment of the day when you decide to study? I don't know, early in the morning, after lunch, at night, I don't know.
I study all the time that I can.
Okay, so all your free time, all the available time you have.
Yes.
Okay.
I prefer the night.
Yeah. Why?
It's more quiet. My family is rest in the bed, and I can sit to study alone.
Yeah. Okay. They don't bother you. They don't disturb you, actually. Okay. Yeah. What about you, Pablo? How do you usually study?
I schedule some time along the week.
Mhm.
Every week I do a planification and schedule some blocks of time distributed along the week. So it's not something so rigid.
Mhm.
It's more something responding what I have to do on this week or for a period of time.
Okay. Okay, could you give me a second? I think there is a tab running. So can you give me 1 second, please? Not to
Okay.
get flooded. Sorry, it's a domestic problem. Okay, everything's solved. Okay, so different types, different things to do, I mean, different ways to study, okay? Different plans, okay? Sorry, Francisca, what about the time of the day? When do you study? When do you prefer to study?
No,
Whenever
I
you
don't
can?
have a, yes, wherever I can. I concentrate better if I alone and there isn't much noise in the house or the building where I am. That's mainly for reading. But if I had to practice some exercises,
Mhm,
I don't have problems with the noise,
mhm.
But if I had to read and take notes and understand, I think it's better if I'm alone and in a quiet place. So
Okay.
because of that, now it's better if when I arrive to my house,
Arrive home.
arrive
That
home,
is what time, more or less?
7-8 p.m.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see, I'm going to share my screen to show you some things before we get into the listening itself. Okay, here we are. Okay, here we have 6 different ideas that can be used to study. Please have a look at them. And I will ask you to classify them into what you think is good study habits or bad study habits. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if you think about the first good study habit. Which one can you mention?
take irregular breaks.
Take regular breaks, okay? Why do you think so? Why do you think it's a good habit, Pablo?
Because the attention and energy is not, it's finite. It's not endless. It's not endless.
Okay,
So when you don't take breaks or regular breaks, you don't have time to be conscious of your concentration or your body at that moment. So it's more frequently to start reading and don't understanding or get trapped trying to understand something. So by taking regular breaks, you or I'm more productive with my study time.
okay. Okay, good. Let's see, any other good study habit?
Make a study timetable.
Timetable, yeah? Why do you think it's good to make a study timetable?
Because you make a habit about the study.
Okay. Okay, you can create, you mean, a habit. Okay. Any other, sorry?
Also about making a study timetable, it helps making conscious the time you take to study some topic and get a better planification of the study for if it's a test or if it's a informant and say of the or to complete your responsibility or accomplishments. I know what that but
Yeah. You can make your time planning better. I mean, you can organize your time better. Is that what you mean?
yes, and makes conscious how much time take you to study or understand some topic about what you are studying.
Yeah.
So that
yeah, you become aware.
Aware, yeah.
You become aware of the time you need to study, to understand something. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, right. Any other good habit?
Think long term.
Why do you think that could be a good habit?
It's about planning also, and it's not the same study for when you structure your study. Next time is yeah. Okay. When you think long term, you can make your notes or structure what you study a better way for for the moment you have to restudy that for something else or for something new or for something is more distance on time. Okay. Because when you need to study for the final test, for example,
Okay.
If you think long term, you could structure your notes or your study session a way you can understand your notes or what is important about that topic in a way to make more effective your study session for that.
Okay. Okay, right. Okay, any other opinion about this?
I'm not sure if I understand the sentence think long term.
Yeah.
I try, but I'm not sure what is
The meaning?
the meaning.
To think, I mean, not in the immediate test. I mean, not to think about the test you have tomorrow, but the one that you have in 3 weeks, for example. That sense.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. Any other comment or question about it? No? Well, any other good habits? Or are they all bad habits? Just read your notes, but don't highlight them or write anything extra. Do you all agree that it's bad? Sorry?
I think that one is not necessarily a bad or good habit, because I mean, for me, it's better if I write anything extra or highlight a sentence, an important sentence. But for another person, like Emilio, probably it's okay for him if he just read the information.
Okay, so it would depend on the person.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks to understand me.
Thank you for understanding him. Okay. Answer emails, text messages, and Facebook messages immediately. That is,
I think it's a bad habit.
It's a bad one? Habit.
Habit.
Yeah. Definitely, you cannot concentrate on anything, actually. Yeah. And work where there are distracting noises. This is something that sometimes you cannot control. It's out of your hand. What do you think about that?
It's not the best option, but if you can find a place more quiet, is fine.
It would be better if you can find a quieter place. Okay? Yeah.
I think about that sentence, the way that wrote, that's right, that's okay, the way it's that sentence, the way it was wrote or
Wait.
that way said is intrinsically bad. I think it's not bad for everyone study on a noisy place, but that sentence said distracting, so intrinsically is make you to distract you.
Yeah, it's inducing the meaning. Yeah. Okay, well, I will ask you to go to your cursos, please, and download this file before listening. How to study, that's the name of the file. Please download it. Here we have 8 sentences. about the tape you will listen to, and you will have to answer if they are true or false according to the information given, okay? You will listen to the tape twice, okay? Let me, wait. Ready?
Not yet. Okay.
I'm ready.
Yeah, everybody? Pablo?
I'm downloading the file.
Pablo, where are you? You are in the middle of the farm? I mean, in the middle of the countryside?
No, I'm on sex, but I have not a good connection because my battery was running out.
Ah,
But now I connected my phone.
yeah?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, here we go.
Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about how to study. Now, you probably think you know all about that, right?
Yes.
You've been studying for years. And I expect some of you are fantastic at studying, really organised and good at concentrating. But there's always room for improvement. And your exams aren't far away. So these tips are for all of you. Right, so what's the best way to study? Well, first of all, it's a good idea to have some kind of plan or timetable. This could be for the week or a longer revision timetable for an exam from 1 month to 6 months. Yes, if you're studying for an important exam, it's important to think long term. Draw up a timetable, but revise it often. If it's not going to plan, you may have to rethink it. Next, think about your environment. Make sure the place where you're going to study is comfortable, with enough light, air, etc. Not too hot, not too cold. Make sure there are no distracting noises around, such as television. If you think you concentrate better listening to music, experiment and see if it's really true. Some people really do seem to work better with music in the background, especially classical music. But for many people, it spoils their concentration. However, if you have to work near a TV, you might have to use headphones to play music to drown out the sound of the TV. In this case, find out what kind of music works best for you. Maybe something without words. Oh, by the way, you might think you work fine with the TV on, but again, experiment. You might be surprised at how much better you work away from a TV. Oh, and the other thing is the internet, text messages, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Forget about all of that while you're studying.
You can't be kidding.
No, really, you can ignore it for an hour or so. It won't be the end of the world if you don't reply to a message immediately. Right, planning breaks. Plan your study periods in chunks with regular breaks. Many people recommend half an hour of concentrated study, then a 10-minute break. But you can adjust this to suit you. If you study for too long at a stretch, your mind will work less effectively. So be careful. In your short break, you can give yourself a treat, such as a cup of green tea.
Disgusting.
Well, I wouldn't advise a chocolate bar as a treat. A sugar rush is not great for concentration.
Sugar rush.
Okay, so next let's think about what you do when you're studying. Some people just read through their notes or textbooks and underline in pencil or highlight important bits. If this works for you, fine. But I'd suggest that it's better to write notes of some kind, so your mind is processing the information more. This way, you are also producing material which will be useful for last-minute revision. I don't recommend very last-minute revision, by the way, but we'll come back to that later. Have a look at these examples of student notes. Which do you think are best? The first person has written important phrases at random. The next has a table with clear headings and boxes with notes. The next has summaries. And the last one has mind maps. You've got the main topic in the circle, then lines coming off the circle attached to subcategories, then more lines to further details. Mind maps are great for showing the connections between different bits of information. They seem to work in the same way the brain works. So, what do you think?
I just always do highlighter pen usually.
To me, the first one wouldn't be very useful to come back to and use in the future. But the others are all fine. It depends on your personal preference. Mine is for mind maps. I would suggest using colours, though, and even little drawings. They can make things much more memorable. Obviously, when you are studying, the first thing to think about is whether you understand the information. And the second thing is how you are going to remember it. Let's look at some more ways of making information more memorable.
This recording.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
think you can answer this? You can answer this exercise, true or false?
Yes.
Yes? Everybody? Well, I will ask you to do it because the second part, the second time you will listen to it has to do with the set of exercises, okay? So please answer that. Okay.
Okay, I answer this part. The next time we have to answer the next part.
Yes, I mean, after you listen to it for the second time. Let's see, what about Emilio, Francisca, Gabriela, Ignacio? Are you ready to?
Yes.
Yes, everybody? Okay.
I think so.
Now, sorry, Emilio and Gabriela?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Tell me, guys, I cannot guess. Okay. So now I will ask you to go to the second part. Here you will listen again, and this time you will complete the sentences, okay? Have a look at the sentences before listening to it, okay? Here we have 10 sentences. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go then.
I will have Botox. I will.
Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about how to study. Now, you probably think you know all about that, right?
Yes.
You've been studying for years. And I expect some of you are fantastic at studying, really organised and good at concentrating. But there's always room for improvement. And your exams aren't far away. So these tips are for all of you. Right, so what's the best way to study? Well, first of all, it's a good idea to have some kind of plan or timetable. This could be for the week or a longer revision timetable for an exam from 1 month to 6 months. Yes, if you're studying for an important exam, it's important to think long term. Draw up a timetable, but revise it often. If it's not going to plan, you may have to rethink it. Next, think about your environment. Make sure the place where you're going to study is comfortable, with enough light, air, etc. Not too hot, not too cold. Make sure there are no distracting noises around, such as television. If you think you concentrate better listening to music, experiment and see if it's really true. Some people really do seem to work better with music in the background, especially classical music. But for many people, it spoils their concentration. However, if you have to work near a TV, you might have to use headphones to play music to drown out the sound of the TV. In this case, find out what kind of music works best for you. Maybe something without words. Oh, by the way, you might think you work fine with the TV on, but again, experiment. You might be surprised at how much better you work away from a TV. Oh, and the other thing is the internet. Text messages, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Forget about all of that while you're studying.
You can't be kidding.
No, really, you can ignore it for an hour or so. It won't be the end of the world if you don't reply to a message immediately. Right, planning breaks. Plan your study periods in chunks with regular breaks. Many people recommend half an hour of concentrated study, then a 10-minute break. But you can adjust this to suit you. If you study for too long at a stretch, your mind will work less effectively. So be careful. In your short break, you can give yourself a treat, such as a cup of green tea.
Disgusting.
Well, I wouldn't advise a chocolate bar as a treat. A sugar rush is not great for concentration. Okay, so next let's think about what you do when you're studying. Some people just read through their notes or textbooks and underline in pencil or highlight important bits. If this works for you, fine. But I'd suggest that it's better to write notes of some kind, so your mind is processing the information more. This way, you are also producing material which will be useful for last-minute revision. I don't recommend very last-minute revision, by the way, but we'll come back to that later. Have a look at these examples of student notes. Which do you think are best? The first person has written important phrases at random. The next has a table with clear headings and boxes with notes. The next has summaries. And the last one has mind maps. You've got the main topic in the circle, then lines coming off the circle attached to subcategories, then more lines to further details. Mind maps are great for showing the connections between different bits of information. They seem to work in the same way the brain works. So, what do you think?
I just always do highlighter pen usually.
To me, the first one wouldn't be very useful to come back to and use in the future. But the others are all fine. It depends on your personal preference. Mine is for mind maps. I would suggest using colours, though, and even little drawings. They can make things much more memorable. Obviously, when you are studying, the first thing to think about is whether you understand the information. And the second thing is how you are going to remember it. Let's look at some more ways of making information more memorable.
Okay.
This recording was brought to you by the British Council.
There is a strange noise at the background. Can you hear it? Like a, I don't know, like a machine or something. No?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's see first true or false, okay? Let's see, Francisca, can you please read the first sentence and tell me if it is true or false?
The students will be taking exams soon. I think it's false.
False?
Because she started talking about let's talk about studying, not
Okay.
about the exams.
Yeah, she didn't talk about that. I mean, about their exam dates. Yeah, false, right.
Oh, I marked true because she said the exams are not far away or something like that.
Did she say so?
Oh, I think so.
Wait a
It's
minute.
at the beginning of.
At the beginning of the tape, let me check it because I can't remember that one. Wait.
I would have Botox. I would.
Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about how to study. Now, you probably think you know all about that, right?
Yes.
You've been studying for years. And I expect some of you are fantastic at studying, really organised and good at concentrating. But there's always room for improvement. And your exams aren't far away.
Yeah, you're right, Paula.
Yeah.
That is what is true. Yes, good. Let's see number 2. Ignacio, please.
A revision timetable could be from 1 to 6 weeks. I think it's false because they talk about month.
Okay, right, good. That's correct. Let's see number 3. Emilio.
No one can really concentrate properly with music on. Truth?
No.
Oh. Right.
She said I mean, some people might concentrate with music. It's not the same for all the people. So it's false, okay? Let's see, Gabriela, please, number 4.
You should try to forget about the internet, text messages, Twitter, Facebook, etc. while you're studying. It's true.
True, right. 5, let's see, Francisca.
You should try not to have a break until you really need one. I think it's false.
Okay. Why?
She mentioned it that it's good have breaks frequently, maybe between and a half hour, 10 minutes each half hour.
Okay, right. I mean, well, she said that the time depends on each one, but yeah, she said exactly the opposite, that she recommends to have a break. Yeah, so it's definitely false. Let's see, Pablo, please, number 6.
Underlining or highlighting your notes is better than writing notes. That's false.
Why?
Well,
What did she say about that?
I heard right nor why. Uh, and because she said that taking notes, it makes your mind process the information or
Okay.
have more time to process the information.
Yeah, but actually she didn't say that writing notes or taking notes could be better than underlining or highlighting. I mean, she included all the three techniques together. Yeah, so it's false. Good. Let's Ignacio, number 7, please.
Mind maps are good because they mirror the way the brain works. It's true.
Right.
It's exactly that she said.
What she said, right. Let's see 8, Emilio. Emilio?
Sorry. The most important thing is to remember the information. You don't have to understand it. False? No.
Why?
False.
Yes, why?
But you have to understand it first. That it's the more important thing.
Yeah.
Than remember.
Yes, I mean, she said that both things. First, you have to understand it. And secondly, you have to see how you remember it. Yes, so it's definitely false. Okay?
Yep.
Good. Let's go to the second set where you had to complete. By the way, sorry, I could see that there is a new tool in Zoom that is a whiteboard. Have you seen that?
Yes, or I see, I don't know.
Because I activated it, but I don't know how to use it here because
I see a square in the corner of the
right button corner.
share screen.
Let's see where here. No.
You stop recording. Oh, sorry, you stop sharing.
Sorry. Yeah. And where is it?
No, I can't see it. I think maybe anyone can see what.
Yeah. How do you do
the whiteboard with a pen on the tools. I don't know if you can draw on the screen, but I can do it, and I think the rest of the class also can.
So you can do it, but I can't. Is that what you mean? But how did you do that?
On my screen, on Zoom, appears to me the figure of a pencil on the corner.
Yeah, I did that. Yes, I know what you mean. Wait.
I select a pen and draw on it, and then draw.
Yeah, sorry, wait a minute. I did it, but I don't know how to, but wait.
Okay, when you open the toolbox up on the Zoom, on the green bar on top of the screen. Maybe?
Top of the screen, more.
Yeah. And annotate.
Yes, annotate. Yeah.
Maybe now, maybe click and draw.
Oh, yeah, but that is the same that we, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, but that's it. I mean, but it's not new.
No. Maybe
Okay.
change the place where the option is or something like that.
Yeah, I could see the options. I mean, when I programmed this meeting, it was something like new tool and all that, and it was not true because that is the same thing. Well, let's see then. Let's see how did you complete this. Let's see number 1. Let's see, Gabriela. Gabriela, can you?
Yeah. Yes. Some of you are probably fantastic at studying, really organized, and good at concentrated.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Let me write it because, okay. We'll write it here. So really organized and good at concentrating. Yes. Okay. Right. Let's see number 2. Let's see, Francisca, can you?
It's a good idea to have some kind of plan or timetable.
Right. Plan or timetable. Do you know any synonym of timetable? This is a question to all of you.
Schedule.
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 Yeah, you can pronounce this word in 2 ways. You can say schedule or you can say schedule. Both are correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Let's see number 3. Let's see, Ignacio.
If you are studying for an important exam, it's important to think long term.
Right, long term. What is the opposite of long term?
Short
Short term.
Short term, yes. Short term, right. Good. Okay, let's see number 4. Pablo, please.
Sorry, I was distracted. Number 4?
Yes, please.
Yeah. And I can't read it. Yeah. Make sure the place you are going to study is comfortable and is comfortable with no distracting noises.
Okay, it's comfortable with no distracting noises. Right. Good. Let's see number 6. No, sorry, number 5. Gabriela?
6 or 5?
5.
5. Yeah. If you have to work near a TV, you might have to use headphones to play music to drown out the sound of the TV.
Okay, you might have to use headphones. Sorry, I'm sure I was writing. Headphones. Headphones to drown out the TV. Okay, let's see number 6.
It's not music. It's not to use music.
No.
To drown out. Okay.
To use headphones or to use earphones.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use music, but the thing is to use the headphones to drown out. What's the meaning of drown?
Ahogar.
Yes, right. To drown out the sound of the TV. Yes. Okay. Let's see number 6. Let's see, Emilio.
While you are studying, you should ignore the internet, text message, Facebook, etc.
Okay, you should ignore, right? You should ignore. Good. Let's see, number 8. No, sorry, number 7. Ignacio.
You should plan your studying and take regular breaks.
Breaks. You should. Be careful with the pronunciation of that. It's should. I don't know if I said this in this class, but the combinations of the letters O, U, L, D become, did I say this here or no? Was it somebody else? The combination of those letters is pronounced would. Could, should, most auxiliaries. Should, would, could, should, would. I cannot think of another one. Okay, you write more letters than sounds that you pronounce. Is that right, Ignacio? Ignacio?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So that was number 7. Number 8, I don't know who's next. Pablo?
Number 8, it's better to write notes so your mind is processing the information more.
Okay, right, processing, right. Okay, let's see number 9, Gabriela.
Mm, 9.
Yes, number 9.
Mind maps seem to work in the same way the brain works.
Right, the brain works, good. Right, let's see number 10, Francisca.
Which study method you choose all depends on your personal preferences.
Right, your personal preference. Any question, any comments about this tape?
No?
No?
I have a question about the pronunciation of preference and preferences.
Preference.
That's right.
Preference.
Preference and
Preferences.
yeah, okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a doubt, do you use word reference, Paulo?
Word reference?
Yes?
No.
No? Do you know that
No.
website?
Yes, it's a kind of dictionary online. Online dictionary.
Yes, it is a dictionary, and I highly recommend it for many reasons, but one of the main reasons, where is it here, is that you can find how to pronounce the words, most words. For example, this word. Let's use preference. That is a good question.
Preferences. My tongue get
what?
feels weird. My tongue.
Let's see. Here you have the word, and here you have a speaker, and you have different accents. US, UK, and within UK you have different accents. For example, you have RP. Does anybody know the meaning of that RP? Have you ever seen that?
you are not sharing screen, so I don't know
No.
in what context is.
RP means received pronunciation. That is the most formal pronunciation in the UK. This is the accent used by by all the monarchy first, by the BBC. Is the most formal and educated accent in the UK. So you have that accent. You have the accent in the north, in Yorkshire, north near Scotland. You have the Irish accent. You have the Scottish accent. And in the US, you have the American accent from the South, yeah? And the Jamaican, that is another story. But yeah, for example, here, preference. I know that these symbols are something very strange to anybody who's not
Miss, I don't know is only I, but I think you are not sharing screen.
I'm sorry. Sorry, very sorry. I was showing you.
Okay.
Thank you for now. Sorry. I always forget. Okay. Let's see. Here we have the word. Here you have the speaker. And here you have all the options, different accents, US, UK, UKRP, UK Yorkshire, Irish accent, Scottish accent, US from the South, Jamaican. Yes? So for example, if you see this, I mean, in any dictionary you can get this, but only teachers of English know these symbols. We are supposed to know.
Preference.
So it's much easier if you can listen to it. Compare this with Latin American.
Preference.
Yes? Can you notice the difference?
Preference.
Yes, is accentuation and the continuity of
the
the
stress is different, and also the pronunciation of this vowel. Yeah? Preference, and the other one is preference.
Preference.
Yes? Let's see, Jamaican. This is bloody difficult.
Preference.
No, the word is not this one, but it's hard.
They might be a reason because it's not the accent of Australian people.
I'm sorry, what?
Australian has their own accent and lexic of English.
The Australians have different, they pronounce vowels in a different way. Well, but in some cases you have, let me see this. No, there are some words where you can find the Australian accent.
Pay.
This is the same. Yes.
Okay, so I'll use more word reference.
Yes.
I didn't know it has that tool.
Sorry?
I didn't know it has that tool.
Yes, it has that tool. And also, here you have different languages, not only English, Italian, Portuguese, French, German. And when you, because they say this is not a translation tool. Yeah, but sometimes when you cannot find the exact meaning of something, you can go to the bottom and you have a forum. Let's see. Here you have a forum, and you can use it. I mean, for free. You can register and you can ask. But in many cases, there are other people that ask that before you. So you can find the look different. And here you have, I know, legal. You see, you have some people that helps you with the corrections, people that are, I mean, professional translators, people that know what they are talking about. Yeah. Is it okay?
Okay, thanks, Miss.
Welcome. Okay, so Aya. Okay, now I remember. A little bit absent. So talking about this paragraph that this tape that we listened to, could you find any tip that could be helpful to you, or nothing new under the sun? Emilio,
I think it's all used.
Ignacio, you said something? Sorry.
I think it's all useful.
Yes.
For me.
Yes. Well, you talked about using music, listening to music while you study.
Yes.
That works with you. Yes.
Yes.
Something that it was not asked in the questions, but when they talk about taking regular breaks, she mentioned, I mean, what you could do in those breaks. What do you think about what she said?
Make a coffee.
Yeah.
Go to the bath.
Yeah, but she didn't mention that.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. That is what we all do.
Avoid the sugar rush.
Okay.
Or that's a good point, and it's true. Or maybe or for me, it's true.
Yeah. She talks about, I mean, she recommended not eating sugar. Because, do you remember what she said?
Sugar rush.
Sugar rush. A spike of sugar on blood that makes you tired, or makes you feel tired, or have a less concentration. No, it's
what she said, to have less
lose your concentration.
Yes. So what did she recommend?
Green tea?
Green tea.
Green tea. Yes. Okay. Okay, so you think that there can be some tips that we could take sometimes. Any other one that you think that
I'm learning to take notes.
Sorry, Pablo?
I'm learning to take notes.
You're learning to?
Take notes, how to take notes and make it a habit.
Yeah, to take notes. Okay. Yeah.
Also make a timetable. It's pretty useful.
Okay. Yeah.
Something I think she didn't mention, but it's about the taking regular breaks. It's also important learn a way to observe yourself or look at yourself and understand what do you feel or how it works, the different things to build the ability or notion of how frequently have to be the breaks in when you have more or less energy, when you're studying something is read so much, or is which is different to be making, I don't know, solving math problems. So I think that's a point about the taking regular breaks is she didn't mention is make the notion or train yourself to have a criteria to how to take also for how when to take breaks or
when and for how long
or and for how long
yeah.
And what to do on that break.
Yeah, well, yeah, how to use those breaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how frequently take it.
Sorry?
And how frequently take them.
How often? Yeah, right. Emilio doesn't look convinced at all. But one of the things you mentioned, Emilio, was also included by this lady, talking about drawings and highlights.
What? Can you repeat the question, please?
No, it's a comment. I mean, I said that you don't look very convinced about what she said.
There are several tips to study, and that it's not good or bad, but if these tips that make sense to you.
No, yeah. But what I said is that there is one tip that you have, I mean, is the one you said you used, that is making diagrams and drawings. And she gave it as a tip also, right?
Yeah, that tips worked for me.
That's important. And she talks about these mind maps. That is something that works with her. What do you think about these mind maps in general? Have you ever used those mind maps?
Yeah, but I think that is more complicated to do, because it is in another level of understanding the information, you know. First you will processing, and after that you are able to doing these mind maps.
Mm-hmm.
It's more complicated. You need to decant, I don't know that is the word, the information.
I don't know how to say that. You need to, I don't know. Yeah, but I understand what you mean. I mean, you need to.
Maybe that word exists.
It exists. When you talk about wine, actually, one of the most famous wine magazines is called Decanter, and the bottle is called Decanter. I don't know if it can be applicable to other things. Let me.
Yeah. But so my maps could a good tips to or a good habit to study.
Habits.
Habits.
Okay, guys, talking about mind maps, in the second period after our break, we're going to make a mind map in one part. Okay, guys, shall we have a break now? And don't eat sweets.
Yes.
Okay. See you in 15 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
To make a green tea.
Yeah, to make a green tea. Are you back?
I'm here.
Okay. What about the others? Let's see, Pablo, I was looking up the word, no, Pablo, sorry, it was Emilio, decantar. I found it. I will use the chat. I found settle down is a possibility.
Settle down?
Sorry?
Settle down?
Settle down as a possibility, meaning like stabilize, yeah? Or become stable, or another one. That is more or less the idea, I think. I mean, yes. Okay. Gabriela, are you back?
Yes.
Yes, good. Well, now we're going to change the topic completely, right? Let me. And before going to the live math, we're going to, I will ask you to work on a, let's see, what do you understand by a developing nation? What is that? What is a developing nation?
A country with high levels of education, health, transport.
Sure.
Undeveloped.
Undeveloped. Ah.
No, developing nation.
The opposite.
Well, let's see. My question was about this one. Developing nation. What do you understand by a developing nation?
All the things Gabriela says.
But that es como en vías de developing. Lo que sería development, ¿no?
Wait a minute. Here we have, one thing is a developing nation, the other one is a developed nation. According to Gabriela's, description, what is that? What did she describe? Developing or developed?
Developed. The second.
Developed, yes. An example of a developed nation?
United States.
The United States, okay? Like the USA. What about an example of a developing nation?
Chile.
Okay. Good. Okay. And now we're going to work with, before going to that, let me see another vocabulary, extra vocabulary. What do you understand by this concept? Foreign aid. What is foreign aid?
It's when one country helps to another country.
Yeah. Can you give me an example of that, please?
I'm just thinking in the meaning of the
I'm sorry?
words. I was thinking in the meaning of the words, but an example.
But if you think about, examples of foreign aid at present.
It can be send help for Ukrainian citizens.
Okay, now, for example, in Ukraine, they are being helped by the rest of the world, by the US, by the rest of Europe, they are sending help there. In Latin America, there have been some countries, actually, well, I don't know if the only one, but do you know any country, any developing country in Latin America that has received, I mean, a lot of foreign aid?
In America, Haiti.
In Latin America, Haiti, right. Haiti is the country that has received most foreign aid in Latin America. Yes, okay, good. Well, let me go to, to your cursos, because I will ask you to work in groups now. Let me see. Please go to Material Docente and download a file called Developing a Nation. Yes. Okay. How can I close this? Okay. Okay, here you're going to plan the future of a developing nation. It's a fictitious country, but any coincidence with, I mean, not any similarity with a real situation is only a coincidence, okay? Congratulations, you are the new first democratically elected government of Alicia, a small, beautiful tropical island in the Indian Ocean, okay? Here you have the characteristic of this country, Alicia, okay? So I will ask you to read it, please. I mean, silently to understand what it is about. Yes. And here you have all the characteristics, okay? The thing is that you have been offered a large amount of $500 million in aid by the European Union. You are determined to invest this money in the best way possible to improve living conditions for the people of the island. There are various possibilities. You must decide how you want to invest the money. The only condition is that if you decide to invest in airports, for example, you must build two as indicated. You cannot decide to build only one for half the cost. Okay? So you are going to discuss it with your group and decide how best to spend the money. Here you have the possibilities and the money, the necessary money for that. Do you understand it?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So here you have the thing. So you will have to discuss and decide how you're going to organize this country, how you're going to make this project, okay? I will give you, let's say, kind of 15 minutes maybe. I will visit you in your groups, okay? In order to listen to you. Of course, you're not supposed to speak in Spanish, obviously, okay? So, two groups. Paulo left. Well, he will have to join. Okay. So, here we go.
clicked on the go out.
Ah, okay. Okay, guys, how was it? Fine?
Was fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, Francisca and Gabriela. Tell me what you about your project.
Okay. We want to convert the island in a touristic place.
Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
Es que no sé si los verbos están bien. We want to convert the island in a touristic place.
Yeah.
Yes, because we don't have a lot of money, and if you spend the money in health and education, it's too much.
It was very expensive.
And also we are not sure if the island is too big enough to have, for example, 30 primary schools and 30 secondary schools.
Yeah.
So we thought maybe it's too much for the people who lives there. So we changed that objectives. No.
Sorry?
We changed that vision for a new vision that is a touristic place.
Okay. So
we spend the money in the 2 airports,
yeah,
3 hospitals.
Yes, for the tourist.
All for the touristic.
Yes, 7 touristic hotels.
Hotels.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 casinos, 3 shopping malls, 5 cinemas, 7 nightclubs, and also a large nature reserve, so they can
visit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also think that if we invest in a major oil exploration with the American oil company, so then can solve the health and education problem.
Okay. Okay. This is like Piñera's analysis.
Yes, we trust in the companies. They have good feelings also, well, always.
Okay. Yeah, but I didn't understand. I mean, talking about schools, you are not going to create any school.
No, because it was very expensive and we don't know.
There are too many.
They don't need.
We don't need 30 primary schools.
And they had the schools.
They are basic, but they have, yes.
They know how to read and write. Okay.
Yes.
That's more than enough.
It's enough.
That's enough. Okay. Okay.
Maybe you don't forget about the security. Do you think that the tourists go to your island, your beautiful island, if you don't have any security?
But we can get the money with the tourists, and then we can pay for security.
Yes,
and it is very friendly, so.
Yes, and the tourist has to pass for a screening. So the cycle and strange people are not allowed. So we check that first. So no, we don't need police officers or prison. No, it's not needed.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Good. Be careful with some things. Let me use the chat. When we talked about, pronunciation, this is an island, no Iceland. Island. Yeah? The country in Europe, in North Europe, that is an Iceland. Right? Be careful because it's different. Island and Iceland. Okay. The other word is this word is money. Como maní con acento en la A. Money. Okay. The other is hotel. Well, the stress is the same as in Spanish. It's not the first one. So the pronunciation of this is hotel. Yeah. When you use the word enough, you can say, for example, enough people, enough money, enough, I don't know, enough time. Yeah. But when you use an adjective, a characteristic, for example, big, you put enough after that. It's not big enough, for example. Big enough, rich enough. Yes, do you understand it? Yeah.
When we use a characteristic?
Yes, like
Yeah.
rich, like big, like old, all those are characteristics. So you use characteristic and then the word enough. In the other case, you use enough plus something. Enough people, enough books, enough students, etc. Yes? Another thing, be careful with the word people. In Spanish, the word people, gente, is singular. In English, the word people is plural. So people are. You never say people is. It's different from Spanish. Yeah? Then the people will pass through a screen. Yes, they're going to be screened, actually. Finally, the word prison is pronounced prison. Prison. Yeah? Prison. Okay, good. Good. Let's see the other group, Emilio and Ignacio.
Okay. We prefer to focus on supporting various aspects of the island. We think about the tourism in the island. So we spend in 7 hotels, a nature reserve, and tourist hotel.
Yeah.
Hotel. We spend in police too for the security of the tourists. In the text, talk about this island is haven't roads and public transport. Then we spend in roads and public buses. For the fishing and the fruits growing in the island, we think to spend in a factory, juice factory, and fishing boats. For the poor education in the island, we spend in primary school and in university. This island have a bad health in general, basic health. So we spend in a hospital and training doctors. Sorry, for the education, we spend in training teachers too.
Yeah. Teachers and doctors.
Teachers and doctors, and police. Thinking about the tourism, we spend too in nightclubs and casinos. To the tourists can spend a lot of money in there. And I think that's it.
That's it?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing else to add, Emilio? No?
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Good. Well, here we have two completely different approaches to the project, to the island. When we talk about islands, we consider islands as a surface. So you say on the island. The same as you say, for example, let me write it. I'm sorry. When you talk, for example, about, I don't know, a table, you say the book is on the table. Well, the same thing happens with the word island, okay? With the word island, with the word floor, you say, I live on the second floor, right? On the island. Hotels, Ignacio. Hotels, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
I know how to
practice.
talk, but I fail anyway.
No, you will have to practice more. The word transport. Let's see, in general, in English, most words are stressed on the first syllable, the first one on the left. Yeah, most words, but not in 100% of the cases. There are some other cases like hotels that you stress it at the end, okay? So for that reason, it's good to use word reference, you see. Okay, something else, well, the island has a bad health. First of all, wait a minute, the island has, but not bad health, because it's, first of all, it's not bad, it's poor. In English, you talk about poor or good.
Or good enough?
Yeah, yeah, they are not, but the idea is that the island has poor health facilities. Yeah, because facilities, yes. Because we are not talking about, I mean, when people are sick, you say that somebody who is usually sick, you say, this person has a poor health, yes. But in the case of the island has poor health facilities, yes, hospitals, doctors, etc. Yeah. And something else, I think I said this before, but in English, the word there is used with a lot of restrictions. When you talk about something in general, like tourism, for example, we're going to develop tourism on the island, not the tourism. If you say the tourism, you are referring to a particular specific tourism in a place. And that is not the case, yes? The same with the word tourist. In plural words like tourists, never take the word the, except if you're talking about a specific group of tourists. The tourists that arrived yesterday morning are all in quarantine, for example. Yes? Do you understand it? Okay. Okay, very good, guys. Very good work. Any questions or comments?
I'm not sure, but I think the guys spend much money that they have available.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
much more money?
Or they
Yes.
don't put an airport.
don't
Nobody's
know,
gonna
because I
arrive in
didn't-
there.
Did you sum up the money?
And we have an airport in our summary. The tourism
Tourism.
is designed only for elections.
Sorry, tourism is only what?
Is designing only for elections or people of the island. Elicia
I don't
is the name
understand.
of island. Elicia is the name of the island we are
So
talking
you're
about.
not attracting tourists from other places. Only internal
we
tourists?
we haven't airports, so
Okay,
I
so
think
they will have to get there by boat.
No.
yeah,
By
or
boat
swimming.
or
No, but
swimming, yeah.
I think the problem, the biggest problem is that the money is not enough for all the things you mentioned.
So I didn't
If that were
calculate.
the case, we are very generous.
Okay, so I didn't sum up the money, but do you have the total amount of money you spent? Or no?
3 hospitals, 100. 7 tourist hotels.
No, I can. Yeah, 500.
But why do you need hotels if you
Tourists.
There is many.
If they are local tourists.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently the other project is more
We
likely
win.
to be I mean put into practice,
Yes.
even though it is like the dream, Piñera's
But
dream.
we spend in education.
Yeah, you spent on education. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but they spend they put money in primary schools, but not secondary schools, and for universities. So it's not clear there.
We think the career is more short.
Shorter.
time.
Short.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently the girls' project is more realistic. No? I think
Yes.
so. Okay,
Se
guys.
sabe.
Well, the next exercise we have has to do with what I told you about life map, nothing to do with money. Let's see, when you were little children, was there anything about adults that you considered to be sort of strange or perhaps funny? Do you understand my question?
no?
For example, when I was a little girl, I didn't understand why people liked wine. To me, it was awful.
No.
It was disgusting. Unfortunately, now, I don't know, fortunately, unfortunately, now I don't think the same. But when I was a little girl, when I was, I don't know, 4 years old, I thought it was awful. I mean, the taste was awful. So, I don't know, do you have do you remember anything like that when you were, something that you considered strange about adults?
I
think in the
Spanish
same
was
way.
the wolf.
Sorry, Ignacio?
I think I remember when I'm a child, my dad watched the golf.
Watched
And
golf matches?
Golf. Yes.
Yeah.
And I can understand the game. It's a hit, and then it's 5 minutes of nothing.
Yeah.
And then one hit more. And
one more hit.
One more hit.
So when you were a child, you didn't understand how somebody could enjoy that. Yeah. And how old were you at that time, more or less? How old were you at that time? How old were you? 5, 6? More or less.
I think I'm 7.
10. And do you like golf now?
No.
No, so you still don't understand it. Yeah. Okay. Any other experience, Francisca? You were going to say something?
For me, I always, no, not always, because now I understand why. But when I was a child, I found odd that my parents sometimes talk about this month we will pay for the school, and the other month we will pay for the, I don't know, the books. And sometimes in the middle of the month they said, now we can pay the water bill. So I talked to them and I said, when I will be older.
When I am older, when I get older.
Yes, I will. When I get older, I will write all the bills in a book, so I will never forget to pay any of this. And I will, but it's not because they forget, it's because of the money. So I understand now that sometimes you have to prioritize the
So it's not a matter of writing.
Yes, it's not a matter of, because you know what you have to pay, but sometimes you just can't because of the money.
Yeah.
So now I understand, and I think I told my mother a few years ago about that, because she just smiled at me when I said those things.
Yeah, you were too little to understand the real reason behind it.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Gabriela and Emilio? Is there anything that you remember about that when you were little children? No?
Mainly when I was child, I was wondering why the older people have to work.
Why people had to work?
Older people. Why the older people have to work or have to go to work?
Yeah, when you say older people, you mean the old people or older than you?
Older than me, yeah.
Okay, so adults, you mean? Why adults have to
why
work?
the adults go to work? Because if you think about it, the human being, it's the only species in the nature that have to work.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not.
No, but I think that's not correct, because you are talking about the paying work.
Sorry, the what?
It's like a
Yeah.
work who pays you to buy another things. But
Yeah,
if you really think about it, for example, the ants has to work in summer to collect the seeds or things for the winter. So
sure, they have some social structure or
arrangement,
social.
yes.
Yeah, but pay to work, it's not nature. Natural.
Because also bees have a very, very, how can we say, a hierarchy of within their communities, and they work a lot. Well, some of them work a lot. Yeah.
And for other animals too. For example, the castor.
Sorry?
Beavers.
Castor.
Beavers.
Beavers?
Beavers.
Oh.
Angry beavers.
Beavers.
Yes, they build. No sé cómo decirlo, pero que tienen que trabajar para construir su represa y
yeah.
Trabajan.
I don't know anything about beavers. Yeah, they have to work. Yeah, so the question is, I mean, the thing is that the only beings that work for money.
Yeah, for me, when I was child, that it was very strange, or I can't understand.
I couldn't understand.
I couldn't understand.
When I was a child. And did you ever ask your parents about it, or any adult about it?
I make that question to me nowadays. Why
you still wonder that, yeah. But you never asked that question when you were a little child.
Maybe, but the answer was all the time the same: to pay the bills, to maintain these lifestyles, but
yeah, but that was
kind of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you, Gabriela?
When I was a child, it was very difficult to know that I had to become an old person. I don't know if that makes sense.
To become, it was difficult for you to think that you would become?
To know, yes, because I thought that I iba a ser.
I was going to be?
A girl forever.
Ah, that is what you wanted to?
Yes, it's still difficult.
Peter Pan.
Okay, you wanted to be a little girl forever?
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, but that wasn't, I mean, why, or what were the aspects that you didn't like about adults?
The hair.
Hair?
See, when I was a child, I see the adult, how hairy people, I don't know how, peludos, los encuentro peludos.
Hairy. But people become hairy?
Yes, comparado a un niño, sí.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah. Compared to a little child, yes. Okay, people be, I never thought about it. Okay. So that was something you didn't like about adults?
Yes.
Anything else?
No.
Let's see. Well, we have not, because this is the introduction to this, because in next class, I want you to make an interview. You're going to interview each other, yeah, about your childhoods. We're going to incorporate the use of past tense. I mean, we're going to focus on that. So for that, I will give you some questions for you to ask each other, and then you will have to report that information. Yes? So I prefer to finish a bit earlier today because we don't have enough time to develop this activity. Is that right? But we have made the introduction to it. Yes? Is that right?
Yes.
Any questions or comments? No? Well, guys, good job today. See you next week. Ignacio, I already answered you your mail. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you next Tuesday then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.